Hey everyone, this is Sean Hogan, and I am going to tell you what I did for my summer vacation. One, I didn't really have much of a summer break this year because I'm poor and I work all the time. I actually have four jobs, all right? The first one being the one that most people find the most entertaining, being that I am a dog groomer. I actually groom people's dogs. I don't typically do haircuts for dogs because I'm not trained in that skill set. I typically am the bather, which means that I prep the dog for everything. Some people are like, oh, cool, you work with animals all day long. It can be fun if the dog's well behaved, if the dog likes getting groomed, which 99% of the dogs that come into our shop do not like getting groomed. They have weird isms, like they don't like their feet getting touched, they don't like getting their nails done, they don't like us touching their ears or their face, or some dogs just don't like men, which is really tragic considering the fact that I'm the bather and I'm washing every dog there. There's a Great Dane that comes in that always tries to rip my face off every time it comes in, so that's not really very fun. And there's a lot of non-glamorous things that are involved with being a dog groomer. Like, I don't know if any of you know about anal glands, but it is a process in which the dog has a gland in its butthole. And that gland gets full up whenever it gets super nervous. A lot of anxious dogs have problem with it, have a problem with it, including hound dogs typically have issues. And if you don't express these anal glands, uh, they can get impacted, which is kind of like an infection where it's like a zit that's too pussy to be popped, and it actually has to give the dog surgery on it. So we have to take our fingers like this, lift the dog's tail up, and squeeze, and it will release a pussy, poopy, disgusting, worst smelling thing you could possibly. But all in all, playing with dogs all day can be fun whenever you have a good day. My other job is I actually work at the school at the student life office and the student affairs office. That's an okay job unless you consider the fact that it's minimum wage and you work very short hours. I once got a paycheck from there for working 2 weeks that amounted to $40 for working 2 weeks for them. So it's not the best gig in the world, but everybody's friendly and it gives you it's a really nice thing to put on your resume. Another job I do also involved dogs, and this kind of evolved from me working at a dog groomer's where I dog sit for people. Now, this is one of my highest paying gigs because I get to charge like $50 a night. Because the way that I do this, I typically uh, stay over at the person's house, and I will actually both protect their house and protect their pets from doing stupid things to themselves. And I give them walks twice a day, administer any medicine that they need, and it's $50 a night. So I have one customer that always pays me for about like a week, and as you can imagine, that's a pretty sweet gig. And I acquired a fourth job with handing out flyers, and that's only once a month. I get paid $11 an hour to go walk around Philadelphia and put flyers in people's doors. I have to walk into businesses and discuss what it is with them. And the flyers are for zoning meetings for if a building is getting construction on it and there's a zoning debate that's going on. They want to tell the other people in town what's happening. So if they disagree with what they're going to do, they can show up at the meeting and protest it, or they can do whatever. Most people, from my experience, I walk in there and they're like, thanks for the flyer, get the fuck out of my store. So that's not my favorite gig, but it does pay well because most of the times I have to hit 4 or 5 different blocks, which is, it takes about an hour to hand out the flyers at $11 an hour. Not a bad gig either. The only free time I really had was I went to Rockport and Beverly, Massachusetts with my dad. It was the first road trip I ever took with my dad, so that was a pretty cool experience. I got to know him on like a manly level, if that's something that you can like understand, because I never really had much of a relationship with my dad when I was a kid. He was always like out, like, and he had a job that took him all over the place. Um, but we would sit and we would smoke cigars and we would drink beers. We went on like this cool road trip together, and we got to know more about each other personally as like adults, which was really cool. And until you have that kind of experience with either your mom or your dad, like I really feel like you don't honestly know who they are. Not saying you have to go on a road trip with them, but just get a basic understanding of who they are and where they were coming from their entire lives when they were raising you. I think it's just an eye-opening experience that everybody should have at least once. Unless you hate your parents, in which case, just don't hang out with them anymore, I suppose. Lastly, I really got to spend a lot of time with my girlfriend who moved into my apartment, which for a lot of people, that's like the end of a relationship is like trying to move in with somebody, but it's been the most rewarding experience I've ever had in my life. This girl is amazing, and I'm probably going to put a ring on that shit. So overall, it's been a cool summer. Catch you guys later.